Okay, for this question number 4, it's about ionic bonding. So keep that in mind. The focus of the topic for question number 4 is ionic bonding. And then they introduce a structure of the magnesium oxide, which has a ionic bonding between the magnesium ion and an oxide ion. Then we have here those circle, that the white one and kind of bigger is the oxide ion, and the black one here is the magnesium ion. If you also pay attention, you can see this is the oxygen 2 minus. The minus is after the number 2, and magnesium is a 2 plus, and the plus is after the 2. It just shows the number of charge that each of the ion is having right now. And this is the structure. Number 1, describe what is meant by an ionic bond. You say when it transfers one electron to another from electrostatic attraction between positive and negative charge. Okay, so I would just want to add, so between positively and negatively charged particles, okay, or you can just mention the whole thing here constantly is like between ions, because ions are actually the ions are actually the positive or negative charge particle. And then you just mention one electron. Well, it could be more, and you can see that in this case it's like 2, right, not just one electron. So we should have a plural forms here to make it more accurate. You got the point. If we check the mass scheme, the keyword I want to mention here is the attraction. Okay, that's the attraction, that's the keyword, because it will keep these ions on together, right? They attracted to each other, they keep them close to each other. Or we can just say it's an electrostatic attraction. So the keyword is that attraction between ions. So it's good that you have the keywords here, and you can make it more concise by using the word ion itself, and it should be good enough. For number 2, describe how from having a magnesium atom that we can make it an ion. And then you mention when atoms losing 2 electron or gain 2 electron, so magnesium becomes magnesium ion. When you say or, then I'm not sure if you are mentioned that magnesium atom from the atom itself to make it an ion. So is it losing or is that gaining? Right? I'm not sure about that. And you can see here magnesium is a 2 plus. Usually for atom, I will just mention here for atom, for a whole atom, you will have the nucleus inside, okay, at the core, and then you have the little electron with negatively charged. That's why it's being denoted like this. It travels around a lot. For magnesium, if you just look it up in the periodic table, you will find its atomic number, which is 12. It have 12, which means what? Which means it should have 12 electrons around it. So we have 8 now, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, you can see there's a lot of them, and there will be a range in some order, like you have the first electron in the innermost shell, and then you have other more, but that's not the focus right now. You can just imagine that you will have like 12 electrons outside, okay, in total. But for atom, there's only like neutral. What does it mean? Neutral means that they don't have any charge in the end. So in order to balance it out, to get a neutral, like a 0 in the end, they should have another plus 12e for the charge, right? They should have, this is the positive charge, and this is the negatively charged, to balance out each other. Just like you have a negative 12 and another, to make it 0, you should add another plus 12. That's based on their charge unit, okay? And actually this is the unit here is that 1e. So how can it balance? Because inside the nucleus here, now I will zoom in the nucleus, there will be other particle as well. You will have the proton in here, and the proton, each of it is a plus. Okay, so we also have 12 of them: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. And actually each of it is actually a plus e. Can you imagine that? It will be like the same charge with the electron, but it's just a 1. Okay, you have 12 it, and besides you also have other neutron as well in here to make it the nucleus. So this is the nucleus, and the nucleus will include the proton, which have the charge like plus 1. 1 here means that 1 it measures the unit of an electron, because they will balance out with the charge of 1 electron. And make sense, right? So now get back to this one. In order for this one to have 2 plus, it means that for now you don't have a balance between 12 electrons and 12 protons anymore, but there's a misbalance here. So in order to get a plus 2, what can you have the plus 2? The plus 2 should result from, let me write here, plus 2, or like 2 plus, right? You should have still 12 plus, okay? Why 12 plus? Because you cannot change the nucleus. The nucleus is like deep inside the atom. It's not that easy to get into the center. You can imagine that you stay inside a big house, and then you have a little secret room in the house. It's not that easy to get in there, and then to take out some protons here, or like for more other things to join the secret room. Okay, but for the outer one, for the electron, it's very easy for them to get in and get out of the atom. Okay, so now in order to get the 2 plus here, you should have what? You should just have combined with another 10 minus, right? So then 2 plus and 10 minus should make it like 2 plus. So it also means that for now, you don't, let me make it the same color, you don't have like 12 minus anymore. You don't have 12 electrons anymore, but you only have 10, okay? Just 10 electrons. 2 electrons like this one have like go away. Can you see that? They say, hey, bye bye. I'm traveling to the oxygen ion, that we will talk about it later, about the oxygen atom to make it into an oxide ion. Okay, so that's the 2 electrons that moving away. So here is not organ. Okay, this will be wrong statement to make organ. It just lose. Okay, when the atom loses 2 electrons, so magnesium atom become magnesium ion. If you want to make it, you can set it with the charge is 2 plus. Okay, and then you also mention in here, which is really nice and concise, that oxygen atom gains, okay, receive 2 electrons, so it form an oxygen ion with the 2 minus, because it's got 2 extra. That's the 2 extra electron. Okay, so I could say, if I really be strict, the question here will just get 1 out of 2. Okay, this one is those electrons with the plural can be okay, then you can get 1 for this one. And finally, an ionic bond is not made between 2 iodide ions, I minus Y, because here attraction, right? So 2 iodides have both negative. Okay, so this is about the grammar. If you say both of them, like both, okay, I mean, you can say both of two iodide ions have, either you say have negatively charged, okay, or charges, or you say that they are is. Don't use the word have, but like are, okay, to be verb, are both negatively charged, okay. So that's why they don't have the ionic bond between them, because ionic bond is basically attraction. That's the point. So I think that if you just mention that, that should be good enough. And let's check the mass scheme. Yes, you can see here mentioned loses 2 electron or giving away, okay. So this is giving away, not like gain 2 electron. Oops, sorry, be careful with your word. Not gain here, this is giving away. Giving is different from gaining, okay. One is losing and one is like having more. And for the last question here, yes, just mention it, are negative HC. They use the to be for that. Yeah. They also mention in here, note if no other mark are awarded except electron move from magnesium to oxygen atom, and losing electron and oxygen gain electrons. So just as long as you mention something to do with like electron transfer between the magnesium and oxygen, you will got the point. That's the key. Okay, so I hope that everything is clear. If you still have questions, please let me know. Thank you.